Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's weekend sort of betting preview and lots and lots of games. The URC back, 2 international games, so plenty to talk about, plenty to look at over the weekend. And as always, a big shout out to BetCozy who are bringing you this stream, or this video rather. They were looking to give you guys free bets the entire weekend. Go and get yourself registered on BetCozy. They've got some fantastic sign-up deals. You can get deposit bonuses. You've got lots of free bets, Cody stuff. We're going to give you guys a lot of free bet stuff like that. So there's plenty of money to win through BetCodes. A lot of people have been winning a lot of money through BetCodes. So go get yourself an account. Link in the description. Go get yourself sorted out. But yeah, so obviously we've got quite a few different games. You've got the URC. I think there's Premiership. There's Top 14. There's International Rugby. So there's a lot going on, to be brutally honest. And so we're going to start with the URC. And it's a full weekend ahead. And the action starts tonight as Stormers take on Scarlet. So if we look at this, Stormers very much back to get the job done. Scarlet's being back to at 5.75 to get a win. So the handicap's sitting at 13.5. I do think the Stormers, I think, they're not got the best side. They're not got the strongest side. But I do think playing at home against the Scarlet side, also missing a few players, I do think that they'll do enough to cover the spread. So I do think that there is a lot of value in that Stormers minus 13.5 bet, for example. I think that's probably where I'm going to be looking to put my money on. Total team points, for example, Stormers over 32.5. That sort of gets a bit sort of more sort of dodgy and stuff like that. You look at anytime try scorers, Joseph Draper off the back of a Moores up there, obviously. Andrew Davis, Leon Zast, the two speedsters being backed. So yeah, if you look at the other match for this evening, Ulster versus Zebra. Zebra pretty much being written off. Zebra at 13-1. The handicap's sitting at minus 27.5. And the issue is that I think Zebra aside, look, they're playing away, but they've actually pitched up quite a few times this season. So if I were to actually back it, I think Zebra could be finding themselves within 27.5 points. To be honest, I think that I think the Italians are looking very confident. On the back of what was good international break as well. I think the Zebra side just haven't really sort of lied down. But having said that, this Ulster side is looking very good. In fact, I think they've probably been the form team of the tournament. So yeah, a bit of a 50-50 one there. If I were to put money up, actually back probably Zebra to get within that, but not sure. I'm sort of really fancying the odds there. Edinburgh versus Benetton should be much closer. Benetton, the favourites. They've played very good rugby so far. I think a Benetton win at 1.5 is not bad. I do think they'll be able to get the job. They are at home, as I said, similar to Zebra. Italian playing with a lot of confidence. Bulls versus Ospreys, it's a very weak Ospreys side. And so, we wait to see exactly what the handicap winner will be. But for me, you're going to have to look at sort of the spread. And I think anything sort of within sort of 17, 18 points, I think the Bulls will get. In fact, anything sort of 20 points, I reckon, the Bulls should still probably put on the Ospreys. I don't think it's going to be, for example, also looking at 27.5. I don't think the handicap will be that hectic. So I think anything sort of under 22 could be very, very good value. Because I think that this Bulls side, it's a very good Bulls side. It's a pretty weak Ulster side. If you look at Leinster versus Glasgow Warriors, it's kind of sort of similar thing. I think, very much have to look at what the handicap will be. So I actually completely misread that. The handicap over here for Bulls versus Ospreys is sitting at 21.5. So actually, I think the Bulls would do that. So I would back that, for example. So looking at Benetton, for example, minus 3.5, I think that's also not bad from a Benetton point of view. So yeah, if we look at Glasgow versus Leinster, Leinster as a minus 16.5, I think is probably decent as well. I think that a couple of big names are coming back for all the Irish sides. So whilst this Glasgow Warriors side have had moments this season, I think Leinster, we all know what Leinster are, and that is a quality rugby side. So I do back them to cover the spread there. Munster versus Connacht. This will be a bit of a closer game, I think, than some people are backing. I think this Connacht side have got the potential to actually pitch up and to play some decent rugby. So I don't think it's a sure thing that Munster will beat them by a lot. So this for me is a bit of a 50-50 one. And then we look at the Sunday, Lions versus Dragons. Lions, it's not a bad side being put out, missing a couple of players. So again, the problem is you never know kind of which Lions side's going to pitch up. So whilst the Dragons are a side that the Lions are probably expected to beat at home, whether it'll be at this sort of margin, I hope so. And I think if the Lions kick into gear early, than I think it will be. But the Lions also a side that can often just sort of not pitch up. And then the final game is Sharks versus Cardiff. It's a very strong Sharks side. I do expect them to be able to cover the spread, to be perfectly honest. I think that they've got a lethal backline. I think they've still got a very good pack despite missing a lot of very good players. So, yeah, I do think that they will be able to do enough there. And then we look at the 2 international games, for example. Wales versus Australia. I think Wales at 1.64 is a pretty good, pretty safe bet, to be honest. But I think that Wales at minus 1.5 is where the value's at. I don't see how. I just don't see how Australia beat them, to be honest. It's a very weak Australia side. It's a good Welsh side. Yes, they lost to Georgia last week, but I do think that they will respond this week, and I do think that they're quite. I personally think they'll be quite an easy victory. England versus South Africa. This is a very difficult one to call, and I think South Africa plus 3.5 is probably not a decent one because I do think that South Africa can win this weekend. I do think it will be close, and. Yeah, we don't quite know what sort of South African side. We also don't know what sort of England side's going to sort of come. So it's a difficult one to put money on because there have been 2 sort of international sides that are very inconsistent. If I had to put my money where my mouth was, I'd remain very loyal and I'd back the locals, South Africans to I'd back my boys to get the job done. But yeah, so those are sort of the markets out there. As I said, go out and explore, see what you fancy. For example, Johnny May, Kurt Arns have been back scored try. Kurt Arns has scored in every single Automation Series game so far. Such has been the lethalness really of him. So 2.7. I don't think that's a bad shot. Johnny May as well. I think that we often do sort of concede tries out wide, so I don't think Johnny May's a bad shot at all. The more looks a lot better from a South African perspective. So Bongi Manambi or Malcolm Marx is not. I also don't think it's a terrible shot either. But yeah, go and find out what sort of the markets are and go sort of play around really, and that's where the free bets we want to give you come in, because you can go and then use some free bets and sort of play around and see exactly what you can go and get. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Big shout out to Betcodes for giving free bets and for making this all possible. Go make sure you go and get a Betcodes account and get yourself going. And thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.